The morning sun rose lazily over the crowded city of Mumbai, casting a golden glow on the tall buildings and narrow lanes. Among the chaos walked Arav, a young man in his 20s, clutching a file close to his chest. His shirt was neatly ironed, his hair combed perfectly, but behind his calm eyes hid a storm of dreams, failures, and silent hopes. Arav had graduated 3 years ago, full of ambition and confidence. He dreamed of becoming a successful architect, designing buildings that touched the sky and people's hearts. But life, as he often said, had other plans. He had applied to over 50 architecture firms. Each time, he waited for a call or an email that never came. Sometimes, the rejection letters were polite. "We regret to inform you." And sometimes, there was nothing at all. Silence became his biggest enemy. His parents, once proud of his ambitions, had started to worry. "Maybe you should try something else," his father said one evening. "There's no shame in taking a normal office job." Arav nodded silently. But inside, he couldn't let go of his dream. He couldn't imagine a life where he wasn't creating something beautiful. One evening, while walking home after another failed interview, he saw an old construction site, broken bricks, rusted rods, and half-finished walls. He stopped and just stared. Something about that incomplete structure felt personal. "It's just like me," he whispered. Unfinished. He began visiting that site every evening after his part-time job. He would sketch ideas in his notebook, how he would design it, how he would make it more functional, how he would bring it to life. It was his secret world, a place where failure didn't exist. Only possibilities did. Weeks passed. Months passed. But no big opportunity came. Life kept saying no. Then, one monsoon evening, while Arav was sitting under a small tin shed at the site, an older man in a raincoat approached him. "You come here often," the man said kindly. "Do you work here?" Arav smiled shyly. "No, sir. I just imagine things here." The man looked curious. "Imagine?" Arav showed him his sketches, detailed, clean, filled with creativity. The man looked through every page silently. After a moment, he said, "You've got talent. What's your name?" "Arav," he replied softly. The man extended his hand. "Nice to meet you, Arav. I'm Mr. Deshmukh, owner of Deshmukh Constructions." Arav froze. Deshmukh Constructions was one of the city's most reputed firms. He had applied there twice and been rejected both times. "Mr. Deshmukh smiled, sensing his shock. "You know, I've seen hundreds of portfolios, but very few with emotion. You design like someone who's seen failure but still believes in beauty." Arav's eyes welled up. He had never heard words like that before. A week later, Arav got an official call. "You've been selected as a junior architect." It felt unreal. After years of hearing no, life had finally whispered yes. But the story didn't end there. His first few months were tough. He made mistakes, faced criticism, and sometimes wanted to quit. But every time he failed, he remembered those nights at the broken site, the nights when he didn't have any reason to try, yet he did. That memory became his strength. One day, the company got a new project to redesign an abandoned old building into a community library for underprivileged kids. Arav poured his heart into it. Every line, every corner, every small detail carried a piece of his journey. He stayed late nights, skipped weekends, and worked relentlessly. When the project was completed, the ribbon-cutting ceremony brought tears to his eyes. As the kids ran into the library laughing, Arav looked around at the smiling faces and whispered, This, this is my dream. Mr. Deshmukh patted his back and said, "Do you remember that rainy evening when you were sketching alone? That's when success began, Arav. Not today, but the day you refused to give up." Arav smiled, realizing something profound. Success doesn't come to those who never fail. It comes to those who keep walking through failure until the road finally turns their way. When life says no, it's not the end, it's just a test to see how badly you want your yes. Every rejection, every delay, every setback is secretly shaping you into the person who will one day stand tall and say, "I made it, because I didn't stop."